Hello everyone, welcome to another rapid speedrunning game against Ant J17. We're going to try to get a Scotch Gambit, assuming he lets us, or we'll just play responsive chess based on whatever he chooses to do. Okay, he chooses the Scandinavian, which is a bad opening for new players. So he goes to A5, which is the principal move, but we're just going to put our pawn in the center, open our bishops. Okay, he develops a knight, makes a lot of sense. And we're going to go bishop d2, just to keep this alignment, just so he has to worry about knight discoveries maybe. So he has to be careful. Doesn't exactly win anything right now, but you never know when it will. So that's the problem. Wait, my opponent left the game, but he's back. Okay, he plays the bishop out. A standard move. The drawback is it undefends this side of the board. So queen f3. He goes c6. That looks weird. What about d5 there? The bishop's hanging. If he just moves the bishop, do you really want to just take? It might work, but I'll just bring out a knight. I'm curious about it though. My opponent left the game, and he's going to come back. He joined 2 months ago. What's he doing? And now he's back. He put it in the computer, fed him the move. Now he's back online. Nope, he's offline. What's this guy doing? Where's he from? What country? Doesn't even have the flag, so I don't know. But his internet connection is not stable. That much I could say. So now he defends it with the pawn, opens a bishop. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. He's trying to do normal stuff. I still kind of want to do my idea, but my knight's in the way. Also, I don't necessarily want to develop my bishop just yet. I'm going to move the same piece twice, but with a clear idea of supporting the g4 square. So you could say it's for free. Hard to notice that it's free, but it does threaten g4. So if he does play a slow move like c6, g4. Let's send it. That was the whole point of knight e5. He takes it, but I think this hangs a piece, right? He gets a pawn for the piece, but then he's losing. I think he's just realizing now it's defended twice. And so in 9 moves, we get to destroy Ant J. But we didn't do anything. He just gave up a piece for no reason. He didn't have to take. So he doesn't give up the bishop because he realizes his mistake. But now trades or wins. So our life gets a lot easier. We still have this discovery. Can we use it? I mean, we could get his bishop which is his best piece. So maybe we just pick that up for our knight, which is not our best piece, and also trades or wins. So you can do that with either of these discoveries. Not sure there's a difference, except, yeah, he's going to take back with the queen anyway and end up on d6. So let's just go to the fancier one, because maybe he'll blunder the queen. One extra try. He takes it, but he did not notice his queen was hanging. That confused me for a second. I'm like, wait, did I hang a knight? I did, but he hung a queen, so yeah. And that's the whole point of the discovery, is you never know when your opponent's going to use it. And you always have to just be aware of it. Make sure your queen has a square. Make sure there's no tactics. It's annoying for black. Okay, so we get a Scandinavian. Development center. Center and development. Development and X-ray. Okay, so you are supposed to go queen f3 here. I thought as much. Queen f3, and they want him to go back. What was the line I said? I said if he plays the pawn up, that's why. Because I was trying to calculate d5, trying to cut the communication and win the bishop. But I said if he just takes the pawn, I don't have exactly what I want. And that's because the follow-up wasn't d5, it was b5. b5, if he takes your pawn, then you take the bishop. So b4 is just a deflection. His queen has nowhere to go. I see. That's cool. You can even go, let's say, knight b5, because it's protected. And again, this was the discovery we did in the game. His queen is hit, so he should go back. If he tries to just maintain some type of pin, he loses the piece, we lose the piece, and then he gets destroyed. Wow. Okay. So queen f3 was just winning on the spot. It doesn't call it a mistake for us. It gave us zeros, but I mean, I would say it's kind of a mistake because it wins on the spot. Not that bringing the knight out is bad. You still have an advantage. You know, you're better. But queen f3 was strong, much stronger. Okay, so now we're just playing a normal game with a good advantage. And the best move was to jump the knight in the center immediately. I was going to play bishop c4, but that's only second best. So knight e5 is more energetic because it threatens g5 and queen f3 ideas. So I jump it in, and he plays a very natural move, and there's only one move for an advantage, and that is g4. Everything else is equal. This move is plus 2.5, completely winning. So we play it. He's supposed to go back, and then you go h4, h5, and try to hunt it. But he just sacrifices a piece, so that's plus 4 and losing. We take the free stuff, and then we do another fancy tactic, and he hangs his queen. So we'll go again. Against Spy Vibe, rated 1219. We get a Sicilian on the board. He's hinting at an open Sicilian, but no. He goes with the bishop b5, and so let's hop our knight in the center, see if we can control the d4 square. Since he didn't play the open, playing d4 himself, that's what black is going to fight for, saying, hey, if you didn't play d4, we're going to control it the entire game. That's your punishment. Okay, so now we at least occupy it, which is something. This bishop's kind of funky. We could get free moves on it with the queen or the pawn. Did this just lose? Move 5. You see, if you know theory, like if you memorize theory, you know that he can't do this because this is a trap, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know any theories, so I'm just looking at it going, does he lose? And I think he loses. Because you would have to play your knight here to defend your bishop, and that hangs the knight. So that was easy. 5-move game. 5-move game. What is this? So he hits the queen, which hangs the bishop, and the b2 pawn is loose. That was easy. Okay, so when you jump your knight in the center, he can't take. So now he saves the pawn, but his position's terrible. I'm just going to put pawns in the center, open my stuff up. Okay, he hits my queen. I'm going to move it with a threat. Will he notice? He does notice. He doesn't create a threat, and his knight's not stable, so he gains space for free with b5. And where does his knight go? Okay, he decides to sacrifice a bishop, so we'll take it with check. I guess that's where his knight goes, at the cost of a bishop. This guy's ridiculous. I'm just going to fianchetto. Even though there's a pawn chain here, I can easily break it down and make my bishop strong. Okay, he keeps attacking my queen. I'm going to bring it here. How did this guy get to 1200? Nobody knows. But we're just going to bring our pieces out, trade everything. We're up 2 bishops. The game is over. He should resign. Okay, he keeps moving pawns. I'm just going to break in the center with f5. I don't care that my pawn's hanging because it opens up my bishop, which is strong. But he's thinking, because he wants to move his a pawn. That's what he's been doing. See, I told you. We're going to develop a piece to the h6 square, which just controls these 2 light squares and gets out of the way of our rook once we castle. This guy cannot help himself from hitting my queen. I'm just going to stay connected to the central pawn for the time being, as my position is just amazing and overwhelming. He throws in a queen check. Now we get to hit his queen for free. Finally. Not on purpose, but he went into our position and forced us to. This pawn's hanging. Okay, he's keeping his queen around, which I'm not going to allow. So I'm going to say get out of our position. These ranks, these 4 over here are ours. He can have this pawn here, no one cares. But his queen needs to go. And I want to expand on the king side anyway. He's giving me all free tempi, so might as well. I'm not even going to give him the trade. Let's just take free stuff and open our bishop. Let's just get to his king. So we have this check. We should definitely throw it in so he can't castle. And then maybe we can take the pawn in the center and creep and crawl towards his king. I don't even want to finish my development. I just want to kind of attack him since his king's stuck in the center. Maybe he'll go to f1. Maybe he'll go to the center. Or he'll pin himself, which we like to see. So we're going to take free stuff. He still can't castle. This also comes with more threats. We can take the knight at any time because we're up 2 pieces. Our king is entirely safe. We always have a queen trade on hand. We can now bring the bishop back and flush the queen out, which won't make him happy. So he castles and hangs the knight. That's a 3rd minor piece that he's hung this game. We're going to retreat the attacked bishop with tempo before we take the rook. Right? That way we can stabilize a piece. Then he goes here. Interesting. I don't really care, but fine. I'll go d5 and create the best center the world's ever seen. And I'm going to keep pushing these pawns, and they're going to be worth more than a rook. We can get our knight in once we push, and we're just slowly moving everything a little by little up. Taking control over the 5th and the 6th. So he moves this, but I'm still going to attack his queen. Taking an exchange doesn't really do anything. Like, it's not going to increase your advantage. You could definitely do it for trades though. So he goes here. We can still harass him, stabilize at the same time. We now have crazy control over his 6th rank. His, our 6th, his 3rd, which is in his position. So he's now kind of restricted to just 2 of his rows. And where does his queen go? Here. Looking at my queen, but I'll go here, not giving him the trade. He'll have to go here, trying not to lose the queen. I can attack it again. He can go back. Also, there's this. I can hit him with my bishop. Then he can go here. Then I can go here. Then his queen is properly trapped, as well as the rook is hit. So yeah, his queen is toast, but he was down, more than a queen. 3 minor pieces I had, which is even better than a queen. So, and we didn't even need to castle, because there's no way for him to get through his center, because he doesn't have a pawn presence. So this is just like one big giant boulder, nothing he can do about. Is he running out his clock, or is he thinking of a move? If he goes here, you could also take the queen. But why would you do that? Yeah, this is all. Wait. So here, this is not forced, because here he can go g4, and then we can take it. But in this case, he tries to be more clever and pin. Does this work? That's the question. It looks awfully suspicious. I mean, you could obviously trade queens because you're up 9 points, but hold on. If we take the queen, he takes this with check, which is annoying. But when we move the king, we hit the rook. So he has to spend a turn doing something. Assume he doubles, and we take this pawn. He can't stop us from queening. If he gets behind it, we queen. If he goes in front, we take it. So we win everything either way. Is there a cooler move? Sack. If only I could get my queen in a different way. That doesn't work because he has lateral access. If you push, you're hitting the queen again. And if you just take stuff or moves, I mean, you don't really, I don't really see the point of that. I'm just going to take the queen. I mean, I really was hoping there was something cool, but I think this is cool because it's a promotion. Even though they're triple isolated, which would normally be super weak, this front D pawn is just going to win the game by itself. So we move our king. Because we're in check. I mean, you don't even have to take. You can even push forward maybe. That's interesting. And take here. So he moves his rook and does nothing. This makes no sense. Because now we support the queening square. We have these pawns to support it. This is as good as a queen. So we won his queen in effect. See? All calculated. Maybe he'll go back, or maybe he'll just put a rook here. It's all the same. Now there's no point in trying to checkmate him without the queen. He does this, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to get a queen, and then I think I might get another one with my next D pawn. And then maybe another one with my next D pawn. Just keep him rolling. So he's down 14 points of material. And the bishops escort the pawn, except for the final square. He gives a random check, which of course does nothing. But he won't resign. So he'll go here, and we'll let him take our rook, because it'll make him feel better, but he wants to go here. Let's be annoying, just because he's being annoying by not resigning. So Now we'll just push. He can't go here. He can't go here. And we do get the queen. I told you I would let him take it, so I will. And now that we have a queen again, we can go for mate. Okay, he gives it up, which is not going to help his cause when he has no pieces. Let's close the door on his king. And then we will just create a mating net with our rook and queen. So that was a longer game than it needed to be, considering he's down 19 points of material. Why play that? So let's go through the game. We try to get a Kalashnikov, but he doesn't go for the open. So he plays his bishop out. And in order to keep control over the d4 square, we hop our knight in and occupy it. He takes, we take, and this isn't immediately losing. So you can take the knight, but you can't play d3 because that gives me the check. So that's the important thing. So he can play this variation, he just can't play e3. So c3 blocks the check, right? As soon as he plays e3, it goes to -3 and higher the rest of the game. We have all zeros is 97. So we give the check and win the piece. I mean, what else to go over though? You just bring out your pieces, we harass the guy. There's nothing really to say. When you start the game on move 5 up a piece, you could just trade everything. You don't even have to try to build up and gain maximum this or that. I mean, I ended up being -10 the whole game, so you could play however you want, but there's no need to really look at it. Good luck in your chess. Submit your rapid games in my Discord. Goodbye.